You're watching CarTell.tv and I'm Jenny. When you go to Subaru Australia's website lately looking for the BRZ, you will notice this pop up. So apparently the new BRZ is pretty popular, and that would be thanks to the spot-on formula of the previous one.
Look, extreme power was not the key factor in either, but it does have a wonderfully balanced body, good suspension setup, precise handling, and that excellent front-engine rear-wheel drive setup, further aided by a low centre of gravity in the Boxer engine. And those elements combined mean...
Yes, that one wasn't super fast, but it was a really enjoyable drive and a lot of fun. And now we have the new one, and we're not completely sure if it's an all-new model or a facelift.
Either way, Subaru had a tough job of making the new BRZ similar enough to the old one in terms of the general philosophy, but different enough to not just feel like a fancier trim level.
So let's delve into the nitty-gritty to see what they did change. Now this is the higher of the two trim levels available with the more desirable automatic gearbox, although the manual would have been more fun to drive in this car.
The design is significantly different from the old version.
Now there's a definite retro vibe going on with this car, and for me, my least favourite part would be the grille. I don't know, maybe the size of the intakes is a little wide, and the headlights shape I actually don't mind. It reminds me of the Honda S2000.
Yeah, I just find them a little plain. They lag a bit behind the current times. Well, at least they are LED.
Front bumper has been redesigned and that looks really good. It's much better than it was.
The rear is more angular with sharper lines. Once again, well, taillights are a bit timid, but overall looking decent.
But I think it's pretty clear that the show stealer would have to be the side silhouette.
The side is a real stunner, with a bent bonnet, sloping roofline, and slight elevation of the boot spoiler that just looks awesome. We've seen different executions of this same idea for years on anything from Porsche to MX-5s, Supras, various BMW models, and AMG GT.
It's just a silhouette that works. And this is just another example.
But that's just the overall shape. Get closer to the detail, and that's where it gets even better.
Little details like this piece over the rear wheels, the side skirts under the door, and these nice air vents behind the front wheel.
Also, Subaru assures us that they all have proper purpose that helps with aerodynamics.
There's only one engine option available for the BRZ, and it's actually bigger than the previous one. But don't go expecting lots of power.
The 2.4-litre naturally aspirated Boxer produces up to 174 kilowatts of power and 250 newton-meters of torque from 3,700 revs.
All this means that you have to rev it up to enjoy the power, but that adds to the character of cars like this.
You want to rev it up.
Now the power increase wasn't huge, but it's welcome. But I would have wished for a little bit more torque.
250 newton-meters isn't bad, but the BRZ would just feel a lot better with a heavier punch, being naturally aspirated.
There is a lovely linear feel when you accelerate, but just that 50 to 100 newton-meters more would have made such a difference.
I guess the redeeming fact is that this is pretty normal for this class. It's a balance between having enough power to give you the push, but configuring and engineering the car in a way that things like handling are its main advantages.
But still, the BRZ is pure joy to drive.
Get it on a twisty road and it feels so agile and responsive, and it really feels easy to predict and control.
It skips to 100 in just over 6 seconds, which is about a second quicker than its predecessor.
Other than just the sufficient power, low centre of gravity of the engine, and rear-wheel drive, the BRZ benefits from a stiffer frame, a different suspension setup, Torsen LSD, larger wheels, and a wider rear track.
Now the electronic nannies, there's just enough of them to add to the safety of the drive without taking away the enjoyment.
There's a fair bit of cabin noise inside.
Yeah, well, it's normally something I'd complain about in other types of cars, but with a car like this, it adds to the experience.
I do need to mention fuel efficiency.
Now, there will be those of you who drive the BRZ that don't prioritise that, but...
Officially, the manual drinks around 9.5 litres per 100 kilometres, while the auto is more efficient with 8.8 litres.
And if you drive the BRZ like it's probably intended to be driven, then your numbers are going to be a lot higher.
The inside is probably the least desirable segment of this car, but it does have a redeeming point.
In short, the first impressions is definitely retro.
Their redeeming point is that they probably wanted to make it look and feel Spartan, much like Porsche were for decades, or MX-5. vibes.
Now this is probably the case because the BRZ isn't really lacking in tech.
Materials are also a lot better now. Most surfaces feel better to touch. Actually, some of them feel really good. We get a digital display for the instruments and an 8-inch infotainment screen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Now, while I do like physical buttons, so I appreciate the gesture, what exactly is going on here style-wise? I mean, there's a lot going on. You've got like, hello 2007, and then hello DeLorean 1983, something like that. Yeah, anyway, could be better.
Moving on, I do like the fact that pretty much all controls in the car are within a few centimeters of each other, but also utterly uncluttered, large, and easy to use, even while cutting curves on a mountain road.
In terms of seats, they are very comfortable and you've got a good amount of support with that lateral support you need for the hill driving.
Getting into the front seats is not the only challenging part.
This is where I'm supposed to show you the rear seats, but I am protesting because I don't believe they are rear seats. They're more of a parcel shelf. So I'm happy to demonstrate how well my briefcase fits. Oh, look, perfectly, very nice. And look, my bag. Excellent.
Jenny, you need to show them the rear seats there.
I'm not doing that. If you want to show them that bad, why don't you show them?
Fine, Jenny.
Get in there, boy. Yeah, how you like that? Yeah, you squish yourself in there. The boot is also expectedly small with just 201 litres of space. Furthermore, the opening is narrow.
Also, the full-size spare takes up most of the room and kind of looks like a bit of a feature design.
Again, all common things relating to the segment.
Safety is a lot better in the new model, but there is a catch.
Just some of the standard things include cruise control, reverse camera, vehicle dynamics control system, anti-lock braking system, brake assist, EBD, ESC, TCS, vision assist including blind spot monitor, lane change assist, rear cross traffic alert.
And now we get to the good stuff, but it's reserved for the automatic model only.
As standard on all auto models, you get reverse automatic braking, high beam assist, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane sway warning, lead vehicle start alert, pre-collision braking system, pre-collision brake assist, pre-collision throttle management.
There are two trim levels, the BRZ and the BRZ S, and there's a choice of auto and manual for both.
The prices range from just under $39,000 to $44,500. And I have to say that for what this car is, that is actually pretty reasonable. And the price range isn't too wide, so you won't have to compromise too much, hopefully.
The auto version upgrade is the most significant price increase, costing over $3,000.
However, it's not only in the gearbox, but the auto also comes with some dedicated active safety tech that explains the price difference. The S trim, on the other hand, adds just around $1,200 to the price, but it boils down to simple changes like a bit different seat design and the inclusion of seat heaters.
I would have expected more in terms of looks for the S, at least bigger wheels or perhaps a different bumper.
But is it different enough from the old version? Well, the engine is bigger, the platform is different, and there's more safety tech. And you get more equipment for your money as standard. And the car is better controlled, and it's so nice to drive.
Now, if you're not a fan of this segment, there are lots of things you can complain about, like the fuel consumption, the lack of actual usable back seats, and the noisy interior.
However, if you buy the BRZ to use as it should be used, all those complaints are fairly irrelevant, and some may even become a plus, such as the engine and tyre noise. On the motorway, they are tiring, but on a fun road, they do add to the experience.
The BRZ is a true driver's car, and it's one of the few still available. And if you don't believe me, just look at the first 500 already sold. So if you're looking for some real old-fashioned driving fun, I don't think you'll get a better offering for under $40,000. Thanks again for watching Cartell TV. So what do you think of the BRZ? Would this be your pick? Is this your kind of car? Or would you hang out for the new Toyota 86 coming out in September, rumored to be coming out? Leave your comments below, and as always, we'll see you in the next review. Peace.